I proved to my roommate that her boyfriend keeps hitting on me. My roommate Jess and I had been living together for about 8 months when she started dating this guy Trevor. At first, I was happy for her because she'd been single for like 2 years and was always complaining about how lonely she was. Trevor seemed decent enough when I first met him. He brought her flowers and would cook dinner sometimes. But then the weird stuff started happening. It began with small things, like when Jess would go to the bathroom, Trevor would suddenly get really chatty with me. He'd ask about my classes, my job at the campus bookstore, what I was watching on Netflix. Normal roommate-boyfriend conversation, right? Except he'd lean way too close and touch my arm when he laughed at something I said. Then one night, Jess fell asleep during a movie we were all watching. Trevor moved from the chair to the couch next to me and put his hand on my thigh. I froze up because what the hell do you even do in that situation? I moved away and he acted like nothing happened. The next morning, Jess was making pancakes and going on about how amazing Trevor was. I wanted to tell her what happened, but I had zero proof and honestly wasn't even sure if I was overreacting. Maybe he was just being friendly, maybe I misread the whole thing, but it kept happening. When Jess was in class, Trevor would text me asking if I was home. He'd show up with coffee for me saying he was just being nice. He'd find excuses to knock on my bedroom door when Jess wasn't around. One time he even asked if I wanted to grab dinner with him while Jess was visiting her parents for the weekend. I started feeling sick about the whole thing. Jess was my friend and she was so happy with this guy, but he was clearly trying something with me, and I had no idea how to handle it without destroying our friendship. The breaking point came when Jess got food poisoning from some sketchy sushi place. She was basically bedridden for 2 days, and Trevor came over to take care of her. Except he spent more time hanging around the kitchen where I was studying than actually checking on Jess. While she was sleeping, he sat down next to me at the kitchen table and straight up asked if I wanted to go to his place to watch a movie. When I said no, he got this weird look and said Jess never had to know. That's when I knew I had to do something. But I still needed proof because Trevor was smart about it. He never did anything when Jess was actually around, and he'd always play it off as innocent if anyone questioned him. So I came up with a plan. I told Jess I was going home for the weekend to visit my parents, but instead I stayed at my friend Madison's apartment across campus. Then I texted Trevor from my phone saying I forgot my charger and was coming back to grab it. I asked Madison to drive me over and wait outside. When I got to the apartment, I used my key and called out that I was just grabbing my charger real quick. Jess yelled from her room that she was taking a nap. Perfect. Trevor came out of Jess's room and immediately got this look on his face when he saw me. I went to my room to look for my charger, and sure enough, he followed me. I had my phone recording in my back pocket the whole time. Trevor closed my bedroom door behind him and asked why I was really back. When I said I actually needed my charger, he stepped closer and said he'd been thinking about me all weekend. Then he tried to kiss me. I pushed him away and said I was with Jess, and he said Jess didn't have to know anything. He actually said the words, "What she doesn't know won't hurt her," while trying to grab my waist. I got out of there fast and drove straight back to Madison's place to save the recording. The next day I came home for real, and Jess was in such a good mood. She kept talking about how sweet Trevor had been while she was sick and how lucky she was to have him. It made me want to throw up. I waited until Trevor left that evening, then sat Jess down and told her everything. She didn't believe me at first. She said Trevor would never do that, and maybe I was misunderstanding his friendliness. So I played her the recording. You should have heard the silence in that room. Jess just sat there listening to her boyfriend of 4 months trying to hook up with her roommate while she was sleeping in the next room. When it got to the part where he said she didn't need to know, Jess started crying. She called Trevor immediately and broke up with him over the phone. He tried to deny everything until she told him about the recording. Then he started calling me a liar and saying I seduced him. Jess hung up on him.